So can I ask how did Bob sweep you off your feet?
Oh, he just started sweeping, bud. Look at him.
He just
We
started
worked together for
sweeping,
too
bud.
long.
Well, we worked together.
Fishing off the company dock, bro.
He's just got the right words.
Oh, he is.
Are you a wordsmith?
Oh yes. Can you not tell? But
if
when he
It's this
talks?
awesome radio voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I talked to Bob on the phone every day and I never seen, I'd be like, wow, what's up?
I'm not even quite sure we talked. It was all through text.
Oh,
You know?
The truth comes out.
But he's very good at that too.
got some strong thumbs, huh?
He's got the silver thumbs. The silver thumbs, bro.
But where I'm going to go with this is if you don't have a nickname, I'm going to start calling you Fonzie.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Hey.
Yeah.
Please help us welcome Bob Stearns and Virginia Bennett to the face.
Warning, explicit content. This material may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
Work all day, nothing comes free, you gotta find a way. Gotta be willing to go put in some elbow grease, cause you know nothing that you get in this life comes free. Gotta work all day, gotta pay these bills.
Hello, miners. Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome into Mining Minds. Welcome into this episode of the podcast. Hanging out with my man, Dino Bronson.
Yo.
Hanging out at Julie Lucas's house. I know she's pretty famous for being on the podcast, and hanging out with Bob Stearns.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, there you
Thanks
go.
for having me.
That was almost a question. Just so you know.
It was debatable. I don't know where he was going with that.
Dude, I told you guys.
The last name was a question mark.
Virginia, last name
Bennett.
Bennett. Yes, I was just making sure you remembered.
Oh yes.
But thank you guys for sitting down with us. We just met you guys tonight. Super excited to talk to you guys. Just talk some stuff about who you guys are, where you guys are from. And
Let's start out with Bob.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Do you like Bob, Robert, Roberto?
Let's go with Bob.
Okay.
That'll work.
Let's do Bobby. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are up here on the Iron Range with us. That's really cool. Thank you guys for coming up here, long ways from home, and see how we do things up here compared to what you guys do.
It's a long ways from home, but it feels like home. They're
Yeah,
good people.
100% does.
It's Minnesota nice. Some people say it's not here, but we try to bring it out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's great to be up here. We love being in the woods and up in the Great North, left alone, you know.
Where were you born,
Yeah,
Bob?
where were you born?
I was born in Hibbing. It's 20 minutes from where we're sitting right
So
now.
I got a question for you before we even start. What's better, Hibbing or Chisholm?
Be careful with that. That's risky, but I got to go with Hibbing because I still live there.
All right. Well, Hibbing's up by 2, just so everybody
Yeah.
knows. I've been keeping track.
We spend a lot of time in Chisholm, so, you know, Chisholmites, sorry, you know, but my mom's from Chisholm. She's a Chukka. So
She's a
it's all
Chukka.
good.
Blue.
What are they? Blue stripes? Blue
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 streaks.
streaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
they stole, you know, we were the Blue Jackets first, and then they took Blue Streaks. You know, can't be a Blue Jacket at, you know.
You can't double stamp or triple stamp, Lloyd.
That's right. You got it.
But grew up here.
Grew up in
here.
Hibbing.
Yep.
In Hibbing, sorry.
So you went to the high school.
I went to Hibbing High School. Yep. Did you guys get a tour?
Oh, absolutely.
We did. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
It's pretty
That
cool.
is a badass high school.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know that I'll ever see a high school like that again.
No.
built by miners, for miners. You know, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
They moved the town, built the school, and
Well, that's like the staple in the whole area. I mean, across the range, it was like, for me anyway, it was like, this is like the mecca of what it used to be for sure. And
Absolutely.
it seems like there's a lot of old blood, I would say, in the Hibbing area.
Yep.
And everybody kind of branched out and went down the Iron Range from there.
absolutely.
Well, and on top of that, I think that what they've done a phenomenal job of is education. And it was education when you guys were, let's say, younger, but education now on the environmental stuff, on like what's going on in the industry. Like you guys are well informed of what's happening on the range.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge up here.
Well,
and they share it.
I will say that like that was a forethought from the people that built it, though. From what I understood from the tour that we went on, was that's how the settlers thought. Like if we want anything, we want education for us and our kids and generations to come.
Yep.
And that was, I mean, it was built like a. Is that a cat?
Did your cat just bark?
So yeah. Anyhow, yeah.
So walk us through this. Growing up, did you play any sports? Did you have any extracurricular activities? Or were you?
Did a lot of sports when I was younger. You know, played football through high school, blew up my knee in my junior year, and that was kind of it for me. So it is what it
position?
is. I was defensive line.
Heck
you know.
yeah.
We do not have a quality football program in Hibbing.
No?
So, no, there was no NCAA in my future, that's for sure. But
Did you have fun?
oh yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Any hockey?
No, I was not a hockey guy. My ankles didn't like to skate, so
But I
gave
do-
it up early in life. And
But I do know that you're a big fisher, big outdoors guy.
yeah, we do a lot of fishing up here, a lot of hunting. you
Did
know.
that start young?
No, not so much. My dad wasn't much of a fisherman.
Really?
We used to go on opener, celebrate Mother's Day at the cabin, piss mom off, you know. And I remember up my we got a cabin up on Winnie too, you know, and we got this little slot. There's 2 rooms up there, and you know they'd sleep in the one room, and me and my brother would sleep in the other room. And there's a slot cut out on the ceiling, and we drop our Mother's Day cards through that slot on Mother's Day morning, you know, off the top bunk, throwing it on top of them when we were younger. But that was about my fishing excursions. Was, you know, if it was too windy, we didn't go out because we only had a 14-foot boat back then, and you know it was just dragging
Those are
grapples.
good memories, though.
Yep, absolutely. Lots of good memories.
just you and your brother? Or
Yep,
do you
just
have-
me and my brother. Yep.
Cool.
He's
Older,
down in
younger?
He's a younger brother. He's down in Superior, so you know he stayed close to home, not too close, but a little ways away.
Were
And,
mom and dad in the industry?
yep, my dad was a electrician at a different mine. He worked at Minntac, and I'm over at Minntac, so it's.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
still working.
No, he's retired now. He just retired about 5 years ago, and my grandfather was a control room operator at Minntac where I work now. So I'm 3rd generation. Kind of goes way back to
Heck yeah.
the olden days, you know, and it's taken care of our family for many years. So
100%. So what do you do now?
I'm the oil analyst out at Minntac. I do a lot of the quality checks on lube out there for, you know, all the big iron and all the different static pieces, like you said earlier,
Yeah.
you know, pinions, trunnions, drive motors, all that stuff. People pick the samples, bring them to me, and I run them through analytical testing and
So-
report back on conditioning.
For our audience, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I understand a little bit of it for sure, but not the detail that, I mean, so maybe explain that role a little bit. I mean, you send it through analytics. What are you guys analyzing? What are you looking for?
Yeah, we take an oil sample. It's like on a truck. There's quite a few different components, as you guys know. I mean, it's engines, transmissions, gear drives, wheels. Everything's got lube in it to keep it moving. We pick samples from selected points on that are wear parts, and we run them through a bunch of different testing. It's technical stuff, but FTIR analysis, viscosity, ICP. We check for wear metals. We check for additives in all the oil. We check for our viscosities to make sure that they're not dropping or rising based on contamination levels. And when something needs to be changed, we make a phone call and try to head off problems before they happen.
I was just going to say, so how I understand it is basically you guys can look at the oil and see what's going on in that piece of equipment before and maybe while issues are happening.
Yeah.
But you can potentially prevent more issues from occurring.
Yeah, main goal is prevent catastrophic failure and
Yeah.
catch a problem before it becomes extremely costly.
So my question would be, when you're looking at these oil samples, are you the kind of guy that goes, you know what, we can run that for a little while, or do you go, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious?
There's 2 different programs in place out there right now, and it's funny because I'm going through school for this stuff right now too, and I've been at a class for the last week, and there's a couple different maintenance strategies. Reliability center maintenance is kind of what my role is, you know, and it's a little bit predictive, seeing what if we can stop it from breaking beforehand. We don't make the call in general on whether it can go or no go. It's just when it's really bad, it's time to shut it down and watch for parts. And
You're just providing the information so somebody else goes, you want to run it or not? Not
Yep.
my deal, man.
Yep, when things are really bad, I make a phone call and I could shut anything down out there if I need to. But it's in general, it's up to RCM managers and whether or not it gets shut down or not.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, JSR Fleet Performance, supporting the people who keep mining moving. If you're a part of a training group or managing equipment operator development, you know it's not just about running gear, it's about running it right. JSR Fleet Performance works alongside training teams to extend the life of your fleet, reduce costly breakdowns, and make sure your operators understand how to get the most out of every machine. With customized training support, maintenance insights, and real-world in-field education, JSR helps surface operations boost reliability, safety, and productivity from the pit to the shop. So whether you're building the next generation of mining professionals, looking to audit what you currently have going on, or looking to help develop your workforce, brass in at Mining Minds LLC and bring JSR Fleet Performance into your corner. But what you guys have going is a pretty robust system. And I guess what I'll say is, out west, what I understand is we do some of that. Well, not to the degree that you guys do. So talk to me about how many samples and things like that you guys actually see per day.
Yeah, I mean, the iron that we have out there running around is there's a lot of it, and I see upwards 1,500 samples a month, depending on them.
Wow.
You know, we We run anywhere from 72 to 100 samples a day, just depending on the workload for the day. We test all of our diesel fuel as it comes in, checking it because we live in conditions where weather isn't exactly the best. Diesel, you guys go get it. You get it from the tank, you pump it in, you run it. We check for flashpoint and cloud and pour on everything because it gets cold enough that we can freeze diesel up here.
So do you ever have to go back to a vendor and say, hey, Pard, you got us some bad stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's been a few times with, fuel oil as well as oil sampling because we check everything that's new that's coming in too. And if they bring us the wrong stuff, it doesn't come in. So.
Well, people don't realize there's bad batches too.
Well, that's amazing to me though. Like you guys been mining up here for over 140 years and it's like, they're going to be bringing you not the right diesel.
No, but there's bad batches of stuff. You get more water in there or something gets diluted. Like, so that was been my experience from it.
Yep.
So how do you, going in, I guess, to the future, there's a lot of places or a lot of OEMs that you can actually pull directly from
the manifold on the front of the truck.
Yeah. And they can analyze it. And so do you see your role kind of going away?
There's a lot of onboard sampling too, but it never has been as effective as actually having a tech run it through the equipment. The onboard stuff is a lot smaller scale. I'm not saying it doesn't give you a live action view of what's going on and maybe give you an indicator, but our analysis is a lot further than just what that points to.
That was kind of my point is I think you still need the human element. You still need people in there to understand the X's and O's of it.
Absolutely.
Well, I think honestly, man, if it only gives you a little snapshot, I mean, that's telling the OEM something, right? That, hey, we recommended this hour and it needed to be changed. You guys ran it over, 200 hours past that number. But it's like, I think the OEMs need to take a step back and go, what is the process at site? How detailed are they getting? Because then you run into warranty issues, not warranty issues to where there's an opportunity for the mines or the industry that are running the equipment to be able to help them with their processes. So you guys can control your costs. Number one, you can push the OEMs to actually build better product based off of the information that you're providing.
Correct.
I don't know what the law is out there, but there's actually a law out there that states when it's under warranty, if the OEM is recommending everything, they actually have to cover the cost of it too.
Oh, really?
So it's not just so much, we do what they say because it's under warranty. It's because they're covering the cost of it. And if it does break, then it's on them until the warranty expires.
So we had one, and why I guess maybe I know a little bit more about this is we had I'll say loaders for an OEM that I worked for, and they were killing it. They were outperforming everybody, and they did oil samples and they're running things. And the company made a cognitive decision at this said mine site, not all mine sites, to continue. Like, so let's call it 5,000 hour PM, right? So what you do, they said, let's push it to 6,500. And then they're pushing it to 7,200. Like, so these companies are also pushing it, but it takes somebody on the back end to go, what are you doing to this machine? In your case, to sample this stuff to make sure that it actually is
performing the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. And so whether it's good or bad or not, I've seen some of that stuff.
It can be good. It can be bad. You can get more life out of your oil, but is the cost of oil worth a major component on your equipment if it doesn't work in your favor?
When it fails, it fails.
Yeah, exactly.
I think up here in the Iron Range a little bit different though too. I mean, the production demand is still there.
Oh yeah.
But it just like it would be in the gold market. But you guys, what I've learned this week is you guys are looking more at sustainability, in the long term, whether it's the mine itself. I'm sure you guys are, the trickle down effect, down into the individual, the sustainability is what you guys are looking for.
Yeah. Longevity it's becoming an issue up here. I mean, we're starting to see it up here with some layoffs and stuff that are happening. And a lot of it is location. If you don't have ore, you got nothing to do. So,
well, the stark difference, I think, and I always think turtle and hare, but you have the old bull and the young bull example, right? And have you guys ever heard that analogy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of what you guys have up here. It's like, let's not rush over there to do anything. Let's walk our way methodically through this. Let's understand the game.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes, at least where we're at, we're kind of running with our hair on fire and get tonnage, tonnies.
Well, that's the name of the goal game, though. I mean, it's the more you run, the more you make.
Yeah,
and it comes down to
when you get your shareholders, right? And and you're saying you're going to hit 4.5 million ounces, and you hit 3.9. I mean, there's some sweat going on to where it's a little bit different ball game, and sometimes the equipment pays the price, and it's not the right message. But I think with where you guys are at in the mining regions, it's always been sustainability. It's always been you guys are building it better for the next generation coming up.
And I guess that was my comparison or my thought is like, you guys have a future in mind. instead of just, we think about, and I'll say we as the industry that I've grown up in, we think about today. And to the point where we were talking about earlier, where managers change so much and people change so much, and there's so much tramping around, people moving here, there. You guys are consistent. You're sitting here, you're trying to understand things, you're trying to run. I don't know. I guess it's more of a methodical. To put it into football analogy, right? It's a run game, right? We're going to run it down your throat every single play. It's going to take time off the clock.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun, but that's what we're going to do.
Well, a lot of these plants were built, upwards of 70 years ago, plus some of them. And they were built to do one thing, and that, take rock and spit pellets out the tail end. And, they're good at what they do. They were built right the first time. And you can keep introducing new technology. Some of it's effective and a lot of it is not. It just doesn't work in our systems. And what was built 70 years ago is still the standard today, which is, a testament of what we had 70 years ago building this stuff.
Have you guys looked into like AI at all for like predictive maintenance and things like that?
Nasty words.
No, with you 100%, right? I mean,
it's a job killer,
100% with you. I'm just wondering, like, because let's face it, sooner or later, AI is going to be playing some kind of role within our industry, and whether it's good or bad, somebody's going to end up believing in the technology that either the miners got to help push or
get out of the way,
negate. And sooner or later, I think the companies are going to go, we believe the AI systems more than our own people, and they're going to start pushing some people out of the industry.
Yeah, I had an RCM manager up there talking to me the other day about it. That was a little while ago, probably 6 months ago. Telling me he had just gone to an RCM conference down in Chicago, spent a lot of time there, and he saw these cool robo dogs. He's talking about them. I'm not going to say names because the guy didn't make it home that night, but he was talking about, that they have these dogs that can go around and check out infrared with, different wear points, or, heat is not good. Heat dissipation's an issue, or valves. They have enough memory that they can look at a valve and know it's supposed to be vertical, not horizontal. And when it's off, it throws an alarm for somebody to go check it. Is it the future? I don't know. Can the dogs hold up to the conditions? I hope not.
My phone didn't.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, I was just in there today. It was hot. I'm like, dude, my phone's doing some weird shit.
It's a cold day up here too.
Yeah.
This is for us. This is cool. This is a nice summer day, 70 degrees or whatever. We do get 90, 100 degrees, and it's brutal in there those days. So.
Well, I will say this is, I think AI is coming, and we've talked about this on. If you use it to do the jobs, I don't think that we're going to see a lot of success. If you use it as a tool, and so I'm just going to use your job as an example.
Yep.
If you combine what you're doing with AI, it is a tool, and you can utilize it, and your job might change, your scope might change, but it's utilized, and it's not. Your role might change a little bit.
You might have a resource at your fingertips that you can utilize to make things better, instead of just giving the program to AI and where AI is running it by itself, right?
And that's the problem.
To where it's still being managed.
Yes, and we've had AI companies on the podcast, and the biggest thing they run into is trust, because it's like, how do I trust this? And then when can I trust it? And when do I truly believe that it's doing the right thing?
What's really crazy about being up here, though, it's unionized, right? To where I think in the non-union areas, it will be implemented easier. But up here, the miners are going to speak a little bit louder, especially, through the union, to where it's like, no, we're not doing that. And they're going to bargain out of it. Right. And
we're going to try to.
Yeah.
The bottom line is an AI job takes place of a person's job.
Yeah.
Or up to four, possibly, because there's four shifts.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If you got a robo-dog walking around and three people that don't need to be there anymore because it's doing what they were doing, just looking at things, that's, it's a bad stance for us. And,
I think that's when it's a replacement versus a tool.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where we need to draw a line, is this is a tool. We talked about it because we've done podcasts that are AI, and we've said we're not putting those out, man. Those are just, it's not real. It's not authentic, right? I know it's a simple example, but when it's utilized as a tool, I think it can be very beneficial. When you're trying to replace something, I don't think so.
Yeah.
What's your take on autonomy for the operations side of things?
There's talk. I know in Australia they run a gold mine where the trucks are autonomously driven and seems successful over there. I know they don't have the harsh weather conditions that we do up here. And we have ever-changing roads. That's the thing. A lot of that type of mining is just down in a circle to the bottom and up in a circle to the top, where ours is, the road that was there yesterday that went down the pit is gone.
Yeah.
Now it's a berm, and it's got to go to the right here and go another mile out of the way. So
well, and that's what I was trying to make a correlation just in my mind while we were here. you guys have like a mix between hard rock and coal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where things are always moving. You can,
Yes.
you can tell. And I think your fleet management system that you guys are currently running is a Wenco system.
Yep.
So Wenco is a Hitachi product, right? To where I know the site that you're talking about in Australia that they ran, and it was a coal operation, but they ran it with manned and unmanned fleets to where they, they're proving it out. I just, I think from a maintenance perspective, though, when we get to the autonomous state, what's going to happen is the companies are going to want to run these haul trucks or shovels or whatever at 100%.
Right into the ground.
Yeah, and to where it's like the equipment's not going to last as long, but it's going to make your life a living hell because
absolutely.
things are going to get crazy. Right?
Oh, absolutely. And the autonomous systems don't report problems either.
Right.
I mean, they don't notice that vibration. They don't care if it doesn't show up on the scanner that they have in there or the inline system that checks it. They don't know. Where a driver behind the wheel can say, "Hey, I'm braking and this thing's falling apart on me."
Yeah, they can hear it, they can smell it.
Yep.
Well, the other part of that too is that in this area specifically, and we're not as intimate with other areas. Is in Nevada, it makes sense to do autonomous because we have a workforce problem.
Sure.
You guys have people begging to come back to the industry. You have people that want to be here. So I think where it makes sense, you will see autonomous. But in areas where you guys have a strong workforce ready to go, ready to get back into it, I don't think that you're going to see it. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be feasible, especially because you guys have the weather you have, especially because of the variables that you guys are dealing with. I could be wrong, but I guess in my mind, how I look at autonomous, and this was from an underground application in my experience, is like, okay, you can use it at the grizzly, at the borehole, or certain areas where it makes sense, but you can't use it throughout the whole mine because it's not applicable to everything.
Right.
So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to buy a lake house, dude. Maybe come up here and run a haul truck.
Right.
There's a lot of people make a really good living off of it, and there's generations that have been doing it. It's that's what's kept this whole area alive. I mean, we love mining up here, It's,
Yeah, well, worst case scenario, well, like there's permits out there that people are out advocating for and trying to push to get through. But from your perspective, if those permits don't come through, what happens in your eyes?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of people leaving the Iron Range, to be honest with you. And I mean, every mine that closed shuts town down. You can just about count on it. And I mean, right now we have one that's half closed, another one that's fully closed. They're two of the smaller mines, not the smallest mines, but they're smaller tonnage mines, and they had less personnel at the time. But, you start losing them. It's like when one goes, the others go usually. There's a line.
So what happens, like, let's say ripple effects. So you got miners that are starting to leave or township people that are starting to leave. What happens next to the town?
Well, you start thinking about it. I mean, your tax base starts dropping when houses start, going back to the bank. I mean, if you can't afford to pay your bills, your house goes back to the bank sits in foreclosure. There's nobody that's going to buy it because nobody's got any money to buy it, and then town goes out.
Yeah, well, I guess what I'm trying to show to the audience that's listening, like, not only are these permits keeping us employed now, but it keeps towns running and people that are coming to visit the towns that they're not from because it's a lakefront property. The towns start going away, and the people that aren't local, they're not going to take care of the town to where it's just going to fizzle out, right?
No, the outskirts end up growing because, I mean, these nice lake home areas all do end up growing because you have, outside investment coming into them. But the small townships, they don't last. And your local Walmart's not a local Walmart anymore. It's going to close right behind the mines. Yeah. And now it's, another grocery store you got to go to or no grocery store.
I almost feel like it's a Yellowstone situation. You know what I mean?
Can be. Yeah, there's a good relation to it.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly it. And I think we've talked about it quite a bit, but we're kind of at a tipping point in that for you guys anyway, I would say, is that like you guys waited long enough to see some of these things come across the board. Now it's almost to the point where you're going 25 years plus whatever it's been. It's like, let's get some across the board. Let's make it happen.
Well, if it took you 25 years to do your job one time, like would you be working still?
No, probably not.
How ineffective is that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the truth, man. I mean,
not for the people pushing, but for the people that are approving is what I should say.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. To where it's like efficiency's got to be across the board on every aspect of what we do. And now that Trump's made this statement that we're going to be, critical minerals and we got green energy coming in. I mean, you guys are going to be one of the forefronts of 100%. The green energy movement to where it's like, I don't understand how that is not communicated down through the government to go, hey, these mine sites or these mining regions are going to take precedence, and this is the time frame all decisions have to be made.
Is any of the projects here, what is it, the Top 41 or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The Top 41? Fast 41. Fast 41. Any of these projects that you guys know of in the Fast 41?
Yeah.
It is? Okay, New Range. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Did they just bypass that? Okay. So you do have some projects in the region that are in the Fast 41.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome. No, that's good to hear because we came from a town, Beatty was a good example. It was a boom town, gold town, and then it shut down. And we watched it go from a cool place where we grew up to maybe
5,000 people. Now it's down to 1,200.
Sure.
And it's just all the old timers, and it's just a shithole.
Yeah, a bad place, right? And so,
look at the oil fields in North Dakota.
Yep.
Same thing. You
I was up there in 08, 010, something like that,
price
2010.
per barrel drops. They turn into ghost towns.
Yep. That's a good point too.
You know.
Well, and as we walk through this, Virginia, I want to get your spiel on it too. I know.
You're good.
I know we kind of went down a rabbit hole.
Include two
We're
people here.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, our good friend Jimmy Ewing and Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. When your machine overheats, there's no downtime to waste, especially in mining. That's why Mining Minds recommends Motor Mission Machine and Radiator, your go-to experts in industrial and heavy equipment radiator repair, engine and cylinder head rebuilding, and precision machine shop work. Founded in 1949 and serving the Western United States for over 50 years, Motor Mission handles it all. Radiators and coolers from passenger vehicles to massive mining shovels and full machine shop services like honing, line boring, and crankshaft balancing. They'll pick it up, tear it down, clean it right, and test it on custom stands before it leaves their shop. The bottom line is, when you talk in best in class, that's Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. Big or small, they can do them all. So let's walk down where did Virginia grow up? What did what were you doing? Where were you born?
I was born in Duluth, and then I was a military brat.
Where are you? You have to pull that microphone up. I know.
Oh, sorry. I was born in Duluth, and then I was a military brat.
What branch of the military was your family involved with?
Coast Guard.
Okay, cool. So military brat, you moved around a lot?
Oh, yes. A lot. Every 3 years.
Really?
So
Where to?
Yeah, let's talk about
California, Alaska, and North Carolina.
I'm guessing Coast Guard, you weren't in the Midwest anywhere?
No.
Just a random thought.
that was good.
I'd like to point out we have a Coast Guard on the northern border.
I guess Lake Superior, right?
Well,
And Lake of the Woods, man.
Duluth. We were stationed in Duluth too, because there's a Coast Guard in Duluth, because they do have cutters to get through Lake Superior when they're
I'm
frozen.
thinking Denver. Okay, sorry.
No.
That ain't Midwest.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So military brat. So liked move around? Didn't like move around?
As a teenager, not so much. As an adult, experiences I'll probably never get back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, moving around, we've moved a couple times in our life, and sometimes, especially when you're young, when you're moving around, you're the new kid, and it's like,
Right, it's hard to make friends. You got to start
100%
over every
yeah.
3 years, and it's just like, oh,
But after that third time, it's like, you know what? I know how to do this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it actually
You're
probably
a pro.
helped. Yeah, it probably helped build your character and how do you
Confidence.
say your resilience a little bit.
maybe.
I went to 3 different high schools. I got my ass whooped. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're X, Y, and Z." I said, "No, I just defended myself. I was always the new kid. I was always picked on." So I was like,
I didn't get picked on, but I was always a new kid.
So with traveling around, did you play any like high school sports, youth sports, anything?
Volleyball and softball.
Okay. And then that's it. Like once you got into high school, volleyball, softball, and you said, I'm done.
That was it. High school, and then graduated.
"What'd you do after high school?"
Went to college and had kids.
Nice.
Nice.
What'd you go to college for?
Business, actually.
Cool. What kind of business? Anything special?
Accounting.
Oh, nerd.
Oh, no.
Now, come on.
You know it.
So
Hey.
in the business world, you got a BS, right? But it's accounting, economics, or finance. And I always looked at it as accountants keep track of everything. Finance is like the psychology of money, and then finance is actually like, how do you make money? And so mine was finance, right? And I'm like, look at all these nerds looking.
Mine was accounting.
Yes, yeah. But it's a super huge skill to have. And I don't want to discredit anything
good.
because everybody thinks about a tax accountant, but the things that you guys have to learn, while I'm not like good at that part of it, it is super cool to like get somebody that's really strong in accounting.
Well, that transitioned into your position now, though, right? Similar?
You're accounting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of data information. It's a lot of numbers.
What's your position now? I'm sorry, I might have missed it.
Well, technically it's an analytical technician, but we call ourselves lab coordinators. So we do just a lot of data input.
So data input, but she's talking about pellets. Like she's in charge of tons of pellets that are going to the port.
So
Port and boats.
where is your, I guess, in the process of mining? Where do you kind of sit? Excuse me.
At the very tail end. When
I would
That's
say,
what I was gonna
at the
ask.
end, because after the pellet is finished, it's loaded into trains, and then the trains are shipped to port, and then the port goes on to the ship, and then the ship is delivered to where it's being built to.
But you're also scheduling like how many tons are going on each ship, right?
No, the boats do that.
Okay.
That's all scheduled. So
But you're tracking
we
that.
get the billing, so we bill it.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
how do you know that what's got there is what you said that would get there?
We get like a bill of lading.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we get a detailed report of what went into the boat, time, minutes,
But at the
how long it took.
but prior to it even getting there, you have to have a
Well, we get like a forecast of our future boats with their approximate tonnage that where we're shipping it to has requested the amount of tonnage that they would like. So the boat that comes in, if it's not changed, that's what we get.
Yeah.
And the
So
pellets are
these,
put in.
do you guys know if these boats are specific just to pellets or is there other things on the ship?
No, this
No,
is the
just
Great
pellets.
Lakes fleet. This is
Oh, okay.
yeah. You can, if anybody does TikTok, you can go. There's a couple Great Lake mariners that they record a lot of their entries into the Duluth harbors,
Oh, cool.
Superior harbors. They kind of show where they come and go, watch them get loaded, and where they dump everything off. It's a pretty cool process.
And maybe we should talk about that for a second because I don't think on any other podcast that we've been up here and we've talked about the connection with Lake Superior, Duluth, and actually the logistics and why this range is important. Because I think some of the success from this range, at least how I understand it, is because it's the furthest inland port to the sea that you can actually get things from there and then hop, skip, and a jump to wherever else it needs to go. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Nothing to add?
Bob knows more about mining than I do. He's the expert.
Lay it down for us, Bob.
But that's
No,
why this region's important, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's why the Rust Belt is the Rust Belt. It all runs along Lake Superior, all of our and the Great Lakes. Through the locks and everything. The Great Lakes ships come here and they drop on ports that are alongside the Great Lakes, and that's where a lot of the steel mills are.
But if you couldn't do that,
Your shipping costs
economically,
would be,
yeah.
through the roof. I mean, the tonnage in a boat compared to the tonnage in a train is a lot more, and it's a lot more efficient getting it to and from. So
Yeah. So it was, I guess, historically and currently, it's huge to be able to do that in order to be, I guess, economically successful in mining iron or in other minerals in this area.
yeah, transporting tonnage like we do is it's a lot of weight. It's got to move somehow.
Yeah, well,
And
maybe break it down in layman's terms because I know when we go back and we got people from Nevada that are gonna be listening to the show, they're gonna be like, "What do you mean?" So when you guys are producing pellets, iron ore pellets, and you take them to the harbor, and then they go where?
Yep. Well, from our plant, they come out in pellets off of the tail end of the plant. They get in a stockpile. They go into a train. Train takes them from our plant down to the port. It gets taken off the train, put in a pile there, and then they load them in what they call a ship loader. And the ship loader sits there and loads up these Great Lakes huge shipping vessels, and they fill the stores underneath of them. They have belts that cast it into the boat, and then there's a belting system inside the boat that casts it back out. So they leave from Duluth loaded, sunk way down. Like you'll hear stories every year where they, they came in too far into the port or the water level was down and they didn't realize it. And they'll put the bottoms of those boats right on the bottom of Lake Superior and be stuck there.
Ooh.
Because they just didn't, they didn't expect to go down so deep or whatever. But they load those boats up. The boats go to wherever the destination for shipping is, and that's usually near a steel mill somewhere along the Great Lakes. You know, any of them. They discharge all the pellets, and the pellets get fed into the steel mills. So
when they get to the steel mills, where does that steel go, and what is produced out of the steel from the pellets?
Yeah, it's finished steel products. I mean, a lot of it's flat rolled now. There's tubular. In general, most of the ones along the Rust Belt are currently flat rolled, but in the past, it's been your tin cans, your piping, your tubing, your.
So when you think construction out there, when you think manufacturing out there, you should think the Minnesota Iron Range, right?
Absolutely.
What about steel beams?
Absolutely.
Because that's the way it was explained to me is not only did the iron ore range help with the world wars, but it also helped. It built New York City and the whole East Coast off of
Golden Gate Bridge, the whole works, east to west.
Yeah. So that, I wanted to break it down. Number one, because I didn't understand it when we first got here, right? And what the significance was of the mineral that you guys are mining. But now that we've learned a little bit about that, obviously we've talked about the history of the Iron Range and, the legacies, but I think it's important to understand if we didn't have that mineral, like where would we be as a country? Where would we be, on the globe?
Yeah. And I think Virginia, you track all that. You have to manage portions of that information.
We do.
In order. So, and I guess the other thing that is important to know is that I don't know, water weighs so much per volume, right? Iron weighs so much, dirt weighs, mud weighs. So iron's heavy. Yep. Iron is super heavy. And I don't know what that calculation is or anything like that. But I guess my point is it's not, when we think about shipping gold bars or something like that, these guys are shipping iron it's robust. Yeah. It's dense.
Yeah. It is. I mean, our pellets that leave the plant are 63% iron, give or take, 0.5%. But wow. I mean, and we do moisture sampling on the way out. We don't like to ship water.
Sure.
We ship enough water so that we don't dust out the harbors when our pellets are dumped. That's what it comes down to. So we have percentages we try to meet on every one of our shipments, but
that's interesting. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Cause
that's environmental stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Two Harbors, Minnesota has environmental monitoring.
Well, it can't be too low, but it can't be too high either.
Well, it's got to be within some kind of spec, because if not, you could water down your pellets and be getting paid a hell of a lot of money because you're getting paid by the ton, right?
Yeah, but we live in Minnesota and then they freeze solid in the train.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And then how do you get them out?
Well, maybe you could load them up in the summer.
Well, then they sit there and they freeze in the winter.
It's regulated. And what I want to get out of this, the whole thing is, and I'm not discrediting what I'm doing is highlighting that you are a maintenance guy on the mine site, but you understand the process and you understand where it goes, but you also understand how your job impacts that final pellet production that I would say in a lot of other regions, I just do my job, right? But I don't think about anything downstream. And it seems like most people that we've talked to up here, they are fully aware of the whole process and they understand their chink in the chain to where they do the best that they can, because the next person down the chain is doing the best that they can. And it's been super impressive.
It means a lot to everybody up here. I mean, there's passion in this business up here. And like you said, America's built on U.S. Steel's back, basically. Yeah. And it's always been the case. When America needs us, we answer. The tonnage comes.
It's just help us out when things aren't, when you don't, not that you don't need us, but you know what I mean?
So when you
support us.
Yeah.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, our good business parts at Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. When the ground is tough and the clock is ticking, you need more than just equipment. You need a partner who lives and breathes heavy-duty performance. That's Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. From dozers and haul trucks to loaders and excavators, HME has the equipment to keep your operation charging forward. But it's not just about the iron, it's about the commitment to safety, reliability, and to getting the right machine at the right time. That's why they offer both short-term rentals for immediate jobs and long-term rentals to preserve capital and manage your budget. And if renting isn't the answer, they've got you covered with equipment sales, financing, fleet appraisals, and big job repair contracts. So when your project demands a partner, precision, and relentless support, contact the team at Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Click the links on the episode notes and find out more.
So when you sit back and because the communities are fully aware of, the permits that every mine's waiting on. So what is your thought, or what's your solution to helping with the permitting section of this? Because that is obviously the bottleneck.
Yeah, and it's going to be forever. It's always going to be.
You think so?
You don't think that changes?
Nah.
You don't think we can get AI to help with the permitting process?
There's only so many stack emissions we can fix. Eventually, when it comes down to it, we're a production facility. It is what it is. We need oil in this country. We need steel in this country. And there's only two places to get the iron to make the steel in this country, and it's Michigan and Minnesota. So at some point, you just need to, we're doing our best we can here, and let's keep things moving forward with what we can do for our best. And we'll try to find new technology if it's required, but let's take it easy.
Dino made a good connection earlier. So if you guys were to come out west, I don't think that you would talk to people that understood the entire mining cycle like you guys do, which is super interesting. And we've had this conversation over and over, but you just kind of highlighted that like there's so many people invested in understanding and what's going on. And I think part of that is because we're so transient out there. If you don't like it here, you can go there, and people do that.
Sure.
But I also think it's because you guys have, not just you guys, but your ancestors, your grandparents, your great grandparents, your parents, everybody's invested time and energy here, and they want to, so that makes a difference. You understand things a little bit differently.
Yeah, you guys touched on it earlier. You're talking about the unions up here. Well, these jobs up here are 30-year jobs. After 30 years, you get your pension, you get your retiree medical, and you walk out the door, and you can live the rest of your life after giving 30 years to one of these companies, and that's what it comes down to. That's union jobs versus non-union jobs. You get your 401k matching, and you can do all right. I'm not saying you can't. It's just we have a different perspective on things up here, and when you get one of these jobs, you're thankful for getting this job.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is you guys have roots here, and they're not
Absolutely.
surface roots; they're deep roots that you go, I'm not willing to move. I'm not willing to change. Like, we're going to do our thing.
Well, I think now listening as we walk through this, I think part of the pride is in the mineral, right? We mine gold, and so really gold can come or go because it's not really it's not used in production for anything other than jewelry, right? And we have it in cell phones and things like that, but it's not super important. But when you're talking about infrastructure in the nation, I mean, things come right from here.
Oh, yeah.
To where I guess the mineral, depending on what your perspective is potentially more valuable than gold.
Well, it's a building block. It's a foundational mineral, in my opinion. I don't know how to explain that. Gold is cool once you get steel and you can build these things, then you can do other things with the gold, which is once you can actually send a rocket to the moon, then you can put gold on and gold plate things because it reflects heat or whatever else. But you can't, in the process, you can't get there before steel. So I don't know. That's kind of, I guess, how I'm relating it, or you know what I mean, making that correlation. Virginia, I do want to ask. So, what made you get into the mining industry?
Well, the area that I lived in at the time, there was just a lot of talk. I grew up with it, and it just happened that a neighbor of mine worked with Minntac for a couple of years, and she thoroughly liked it. And she talked about it, and she was like, "You should apply. It's a great place to work." And
how did you get here, though? How did you get to Minnesota? With traveling around?
Minnesota, I just moved back. My family lives in Minnesota.
So you got
all of
roots
my
here
family.
too.
Yeah,
Okay,
my family is born and bred Duluth, Twig. So I just moved back when I was 20 and was just like, I'm done moving around.
Yeah.
I was like, I had kids and I was like, I don't want them to go through what I went through. I was like, I just want them to go to one school, graduate from one school.
Yeah. So can I ask how did Bob sweep you off your feet?
Oh, he just started sweeping, bud. Look at him.
He just
We
started
worked together for
sweeping,
too
bud.
long.
Well, we worked together.
Fishing off the company dock, bro.
He's just got the right words.
Oh, he is.
Are you a wordsmith?
Can you not tell by the way he
It's this
talks?
awesome radio voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I talked to Bob on the phone every day and I never seen, I'd be like, Bob, what's up?
I'm not even quite sure we talked. It was all through text.
The truth comes out.
But he's very good at that too.
You got some strong thumbs, huh?
He's got the silver thumbs. The silver thumbs, bro. I like it.
We had a guy we worked with out there that he had a couple different wives throughout his life, and everybody asked him, like, how do you get
At the
these
same
wives?
time?
No, well, he married one twice, but and for those
I
that
know
work
him.
with me are gonna know who this is.
Repeat customer.
I mean, he's an interesting guy. We're gonna go with that. And, not exactly the ladies' man type. And somebody asked him, "Hey, man, how do you do it?" And he looked him dead in the eye and said, "I got magic fingers."
Yeah. Well, I
You're
know
not
if you don't.
insinuating anything, are you?
Mining stories right there. Mining
My head
101.
goes so many spots. But where I'm going to go with this is if you don't have a nickname, I'm going to start calling you Fonzie.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Hey. Got Hollywood and Fonzie.
Oh boy.
Do you have any nicknames?
No, Bob.
Hey, do you have any nicknames, Virginia, for him?
For him?
Yeah.
No.
I somehow ended up in her phone as handsome. I'll
Yes,
tell,
just
I'll tell the
handsome.
listeners that.
Handsome.
I'll take that.
He does have handsome.
It started out as hands, though.
Yeah,
No, here, just handsome.
Finger.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
So, little did you know.
I never knew what was going to happen.
I don't even know where to go from here. Like,
We're off the rails. You need to go to the politically correct couple and Julie and Matt. And
this is where it happens.
So, I would like to ask, though, Bob, in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself and where do you see the iron range overall?
our youngest is 8. I'm hoping she'll be leaning towards 18 at that point, getting ready to graduate. I'll still be working at Minntac for another couple of years. I got 17 years in right now. I'm
Very cool.
hoping to land 30, and see where life takes me from there. I'm not saying I'm walking out the door the day I get my 30th year and I'll be 55 years old, but I can explore some opportunities then if I really want to and try to do something different and take my pension and run or just keep working,
Well,
whatever.
at the end of the day, being 55 years old and being able to retire because you have a pension, you've got
That's what it's about. That's what it's about up here.
100% it is.
Not having to work your entire life to make it by, or you know what I mean? How about you, Virginia? Same question. I mean, where do you see yourself?
In 10 years, well, our oldest will be 33. Maybe we'll be grandparents by then.
Grandpa Bob.
Yeah, Grandpa Thumbs.
Dude, we're going fishing with Grandpa Bob.
7 to 10 years, girls.
Grandpa
7 to
Fonzie.
10 years.
Just the same as Bob, either looking at retirement, getting ready to retire, and hopefully just enjoying retirement and enjoying our kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys have a lake house, right?
No, we have a cabin up here, right down the road here.
It's
a
on the
nice
lake.
castle.
Yeah.
It's on the lake. It's a cabin.
So you have another house somewhere else?
Yep, we live in
Yep.
town. Yep. Yep.
So I'm
I
so
want two
confused.
houses.
Yeah, everybody here's got 2 houses.
Well,
And
if they-
I can't even afford one.
Julie explained it earlier. If you have 2 houses, basically you have a cabin, which is like your second, and you have a home somewhere else.
Yeah.
But if you live out here, it's a house.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if you live here, it's a house. If you just
Yeah.
visit out here, it's a cabin.
Yeah, so they wouldn't welcome you having a home here just for 6 months. You have to come live here. Have to get a residence, right? Isn't that correct?
Well, I mean, yeah, we'd prefer you live close to here. At
Prefers
least,
a
not
way
just
better word.
not just pop in and out. We like to get to know our neighbors.
Well, I think
Isn't Minnesota nice?
It is.
I think at the end of it all, it's not necessarily about the having extra company. It's about the extra company pulling their weight and having skin in the game for the
Being
place
part
that
of the
you live in.
community, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
When it
even
comes
if
down
it's
to it.
only for 4 or 5 months, it's like, hey, you want to be a part of this family? You're going to be doing the dishes with us.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Couldn't put it better.
Honestly, I mean, that's I've heard it a lot this week, and it's like, man, what a bunch of shitbirds.
Snowbirds or shitbirds, right?
Well,
you can be.
you come up and you have an opportunity to enjoy God's earth up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful. I can't even believe that there's mines up here. You can't, even when you're on the mine site, it's like, dude, the scenery is amazing. I know the winters are rough, but at the end of the day, if you're up here enjoying somebody else's family or somebody else's spot that they live,
Be a part of it.
Just pitch in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, when in Rome, right? And be a part of it. Don't have to. Yeah. I agree with that. I got couple more questions, or maybe not a couple more, but a handful more. And I guess there's young people out there. They tune into our podcast because A, they don't know mining, or B, they're like, who are these idiots?
You know, they just wanna listen to some rough jokes.
Yeah. But I guess, how would what would you tell them about the mining industry? Both of you guys, maybe.
Go for it.
I think it's a great place to start a career. We tried telling our middle child, who was is still unsure of, what she wants to do. She finishes her 2 year in college and gets her AA, but she's undecided. She doesn't know what she wants to do or where she wants to go. And we tried telling her, I was like, well, apply for the mining. You know, we're in it. I was like, they got, you know, great benefits. You can't ask for much more. Medical, the pay, the vacation. I was just like,
until you figure
it's
it out.
longevity. I was just like, you know, it's just all around. I was like, if you're unsure of what you wanted to do for what you do, it's great.
Well, then you get in and you actually, like, in my opinion, just from my experience, you actually feel like you're impacting something. Like, man,
Right.
I'm actually doing something that makes
You're a part of the greater good.
Yes. And when people realize, like, again, we talk about, oh, I'm just this or I'm just that or I just do this job. Yeah, but do you realize the trickle effect that you have on the entire nation or the entire economy or entire, you know what I mean?
And we all say that. It's like, you know, I'm just this. I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just an oil analyst out of Minntac. You know, to me, it's nothing, you know, big deal. But
nobody thinks
it's, when you do put it that way, you're not wrong. And I mean,
Yeah.
it does impact all the way
The
down the
world.
chain. And then you start thinking about it, and it's like, and in the long term, it is a very impactful, you know, industry. And it takes everybody to do it. I mean,
100% it does.
a laborer, you know, I'm just a laborer. I'm just a truck driver. You're just as important
100%.
as the guy at the tail end who's making the car out of the steel that we make.
And there's a difference too, because there's you can be good in those positions too. There's a difference between being, and I say truck driver, right? And because people, well, I'm just a truck driver.
Everybody knocks truck drivers.
Yeah, but
I
at
mean,
the
it
end
is
of the
what it
day,
is.
like there's good truck drivers. Like,
The worst job.
I was going to say, with the weather and the roads,
you're fighting
it's-
fatigue all the time. Like, what's your enemy? Sleep.
Yeah.
Like, because once you get good at it, that's what it is.
There's nobody more that I respect on the mindset than a truck driver.
Right, and they're
I
more
couldn't do it.
essential.
12 straight hours driving your house up and
Yep.
down the road. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you do.
I couldn't do it.
You know, it's interesting. That's why one of the reasons we started this podcast was like, there's somebody out there that needs to be entertained for 12 hours. We can
hours straight.
give them a freaking breath of fresh air.
What was Jason's last name today?
Oh, dude, there's
Corrado.
Oh
Yeah, so
boy.
Jason's the one that gave us a tour today.
Yeah.
But I think he basically said it best, and you could actually feel it from him that everybody knows that they have their job, and nobody's looked down for because you were just a truck driver. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's got their own niche, but everybody knows that they've got to be the best at what they do to continue to make things the way that they are out at the site.
Yeah, but the problem is when I was just a truck driver, quote unquote, right? I didn't understand the roles that like you play and that you play and that you play. So we on the West and where I'm from didn't do a good job of ingraining what the overall process was and how everybody plays that, which is completely different here. It seems like, to your point, you know, everybody knows that, and it's super cool because it's like you're not just a truck driver, dude. You're not just a, you know what I mean, a luber or whatever you are. You're actually part of this bigger picture that supplies the United States with 90 or 80% of what they need in order to be successful.
Well, I will say though, probably with the union, they've got a little bit better outlook on what the future looks like for them from a pay progression scale too, right? I mean, because you can kind of handpick like the different projects or different pieces that you might want to run that interest you, right? Is that
I
fair?
mean, they have job postings. You
Yeah,
know, if
yeah.
a job comes up and you're interested in it, as long as you sign for it and you got seniority, you get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yours to take. And I mean, there's some skilled jobs that you got to qualify for, testing and whatever.
But it's all on you individually.
Absolutely.
The opportunity is still there, though.
Yeah, but I would say out west that, you know, where the unions aren't as strong or we might not have, that's where you get into the game of that's just my buddy. And my buddy's going to get the job over the guy that's actually skilled, and, you know, to where I think it pulls some of that away, puts everybody on an equal playing field to where nobody's worried about the title. It's more about the process.
Yeah.
I think it helps keep people fresh too, because they say if you're in a position for too long, then you kind of get acclimated or bored. So where therefore, if you change, I don't know, how often do they say that you should change?
I don't know.
5-10 years.
How many positions have you changed in the career?
17 years. I've had 3 different positions total.
How about
you know.
yourself?
Just one.
Just one. But varying degrees of responsibility, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so that changes in itself too. So maybe 3 positions or 1 position, but you're doing different things. You're being challenged along the way.
But I will say, like, having 3 different positions in 17 years, that's like being a journeyman in 3 different areas,
trades.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To where it's like that is the professionalism that you're not just sitting in a management role for 20 years. It's you're a master at 3 different categories within the mine. That's how I look at it. That's how the union looks at it, to where once you come out the other end, you've got 5 different skills that you're a journeyman in.
I also think that it's something as a culture we need to look at too, because we used to have career people that would stay in said job for their entire career. And as our generations kind of come into the next step, right? You're finding multi-generational, multi-careered people. Oh, yeah. I'm an example of that. I've went into, I would say a haul truck or construction or labor, however you want to call that. And then I went into safety and health, and then I went into construction management. Then I went into, you know what I mean? So I didn't just have one job for 30 years. Yeah. I've had a multitude of jobs. And I think what I've been hearing is that I want the best 5 to 10 years I can get out of you. And then I want you to move on. I want you to be successful. I want you to do this. So I think that's important to note too, because 100%. As we go forward, that's the next generation that we're going to be working with.
Well, that's the next generation in our region for sure.
I think culturally though, that is the same thing.
You're seeing more and more people leave the position or leave their job that they're in to go do something new because they're bored and tired. I mean, especially the younger. Yep. The younger. I mean, our oldest daughter is 23. I mean, she
has a 4-year degree in
political science. She still doesn't know. I mean, she wants to go back to college and be a cosmetologist and stuff. I mean,
because the path told her to take a 4-year
degree. Those would be
program.
Some interesting.
The path told you, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So
say that again.
The past said, go to school, get a 4-year degree, and you'll come out the tail end doing just fine.
And she has tried. She has tried to apply.
The hardest worker I know.
For multiple intern jobs for political science at the state, for politics or whatever, and she hasn't been able to. So she works as a server, and now she got a job as a cleaner because she has to work 2 jobs just to
pay off her loans.
A 4-year degree.
Make ends meet.
With the 4-year degree.
The 4-year degree. And so now she's looking at going back to school for what she wants to do.
Well, I mean, let's face it, the collegiate system's
just
a broken system.
100%.
I mean, that's why everybody's gearing everybody
agree.
towards the trade system. She went to school to be a business major in entrepreneurship.
Yep. Well, so, and I'll be honest with you. So my kid's 17 years old, and he goes, for me, the best move, I like diesel mechanics. So I want to go to diesel mechanics school. Sure. And then I can get out of that after 9 months, 12 months, whatever it is. I can go make $100,000 a year, and then I can have the company pay for my continuing education while I do online school. Yep. And I'm like, get it, bud? Because I wasn't thinking that when I was your age. Or be
super sad making $100,000 a year being a diesel mechanic. Really, both paths are pretty good.
Well, so he's talked to a handful of people that go, your body breaks down after a while, so have another game plan. So, but he's smarter than I ever was at that age.
That's the goal.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I think people are sharing more of what they've gone through. With the younger generation of, okay, this is what I've gone through. This is what I did. So here's my experience. Here, take a look at this. Do this for a while, and then do this, and then change.
It's funny that you say that because Grover's son is actually starting a podcast, and that's what it's designed around. He wants to interview 12 to 15 people. And it's going to be really, what was the name of the?
Before I Begin?
Before I Begin. The premonition or the preface for the podcast is basically he wants to bring people in and he wants to learn, like, what did they learn when they were in his spot and how he might be able to use some of that information to move him forward.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
And then he wants to pass it down. He goes, I'm going to do a year of this, and then I'm going to pass it to somebody else who's 17 years old.
Fantastic.
And go, I'll mentor. I mean, obviously not all of this he came up with, but he's like, it would be cool to mentor somebody and be able to help them
pass
along.
It on.
Yeah.
So
you always have a new flavor of something coming out.
And then he can start his second podcast now that I have begun.
Yep. Oh, that's a great one.
There you go. Copyright spending.
We just got to learn how to get paid from podcasting, bro. Then we'd be set.
Bring out that Bob back on.
You just have to put him on speed dial. He'll help you anytime.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, the last question I normally have, or Dino normally has, do you want to ask it or you want me to ask it?
What, shower stories?
Oh, you got a good shower story, don't you?
Which one?
I thought you had a good shower story.
No, he's never worked underground.
No, it wasn't. Oh, you're right. It was Matt. It was Matt. I'll wait for Matt to get up here to tell me a shower story.
I don't want to know anything about Matt in the shower.
Him and Dan, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure that I got the names right.
You're not good at that.
I'm not good with names. Sometimes I struggle with Dino over here. So,
Oh, yeah.
No, the question we usually ask, and again, this is for both you guys, is what's the future miner look like?
Up here, I don't know. I would like to see it, stay similar, but nothing stays the same anymore. I mean, everything's constantly moving, and profitability is an issue. I mean, we just got bought out by a company for $14.9 billion. You don't spend $15 billion to come into an industry and keep losing money.
Sure.
That's the bottom line. So I don't know what the future looks like. Probably some automation, probably some new technology that's going to change things a little bit. But you know what? Hopefully the iron miner and the iron range can just keep rolling forward, and we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it a little bit, but it almost feels like at some perspective, the mining industry is a dying breed. Yeah. I mean, sooner or later, hopefully, we get to continue just to do different jobs within the industry, and the workforce stays there. But
I'm optimistic because I go, mining people are the kind of get her done type of people. Like, we'll figure it out. There's a problem here. We're going to figure it out. We're going to find our niche. So I guess that's the optimistic side of me. I'm skeptical too, because I'm worried, right? You always go like, but at the end of the day, I do think that technology is going to help us do what we've not done before. Now, I hope it doesn't take our place.
Right.
But to your point, like, I do think that there's going to be some opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
So, anything else, brother?
I just want to say thank you for coming in and sharing the stories, or thanks for having us here at Julie's house. This is, we've actually had a pretty cool opportunity to podcast at some pretty cool spots this week.
Dude, it's been amazing. And you guys make that, people make that, right?
Yeah.
It's not the technology that makes that. It's not the ore's going to be there, but you guys make that. It's super cool to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having us. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, check us out, miningmindsllc.com, Facebook, Instagram, X,
They're not on MySpace, bro.
LinkedIn. You're going to ask?
No,
Did you guys ever have a MySpace?
Oh, absolutely.
Hell
Way
yeah.
back in
What
the
was your
day.
song?
Hell
What was your
yeah.
songs? What was your songs?
I don't remember what
I have no idea.
I wish I could look at it.
Dude,
Have
I
you
know,
tried?
I can't either.
Yeah, so we're on MySpace. This guy doesn't think we are.
You'll pull it
You're
up.
still
It
on
still
here?
works.
It's not
Does
the
it?
same MySpace.
I
It's
didn't
like a
think so.
creative, it's
Creative,
weird. Yeah. Somebody got a hold of it. I don't know if Elon Musk is running it now, but no offense, Elon, if you want to come on, we're willing to talk to you, bud, but thanks for checking us out, guys. Adios.
Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
That'll do it for this episode of the podcast, guys. We appreciate you tuning in, hanging out, and spending some time with us. I got to reflect a little bit here with Bob and Virginia, salt of the earth people, man. As we wrap up our Mining Minnesota tour, these guys were an impromptu episode that we had the opportunity to sit down with them. As you guys heard on the episode, just amazing people, just down to earth. I think the word that Virginia used was Minnesota nice, and I think that absolutely defines the entire Iron Range for us. Amazing people, amazing mine sites that we got to visit, and amazing potential for the projects that they have in the pipeline. I would encourage the listeners to go and dive in a little bit more about the Iron Range, see what they have going on. Really, as I do this wrap up, I'm going to talk about a couple takeaways from me. And for me, it was the mentality and the people of the Iron Range. They want to obviously open up more mining opportunities, and they understand how to do that responsibly. I hope that the policymakers dive in and really start to understand the people in these areas, like Bob and Virginia, that know and understand the bigger picture. They know and understand not only their responsibilities at the mine site, but also their responsibilities and obligations as a community member and as a steward of the environment. I think that came out as we spoke to Bob and Virginia, so I wanted to highlight that. I also wanted to point out both of these guys' jobs, man. The massive amount of sampling that Bob and that group does, I think it's one of those jobs we don't talk about often in the mining industry, but is absolutely crucial. As well as Virginia, man, understanding how to get those pellets from the raw earth to final product, and then that final product ending up eventually getting to the ports and then getting shipped across to the rest of the world. To me, this is the fun part about the podcast, understanding, learning, and then diving into some of this stuff a little bit more. Really cool to see how these guys are impacting the overall bigger picture in the Iron Range. And the last big takeaway for me was, and it will be probably for the next little bit, is the next generation of mining. We talked about going into college and taking the path basically because that's what the system says to do. And this is my challenge for the mining industry is maybe we have an opportunity to look at that next generation and see what positions they can fill in the industry. There's so many opportunities. There's so much potential. And I think that if we start talking to and opening up to that next generation coming in, we're going to be surprised at what the future of mining looks like. So thank you to Bob and Virginia again. We had a really good time up there. And I just want to note, because we didn't talk about it on the podcast, but we talked about it a lot off of the podcast, is Bob is very active with Fishing with Vets. He's the operations director. And if you guys don't know about Fishing with Vets, please go check their website out at fishingwithvets.org. These guys are a nonprofit organization helping veterans, both active and retired. And really, it's giving them an opportunity to get out and see some of the Midwest and hang out with some good people. They're guided tours, and you can check out, you can donate. But a really cool thing that these guys have going on, and we'll post some links there for you guys to check out. But please do check out Fishing with Vets. Last thing I wanted to note before we get out of here is we're always making moves and trying to improve. We've just updated our website, so you will see Fishing with Vets on there probably in the near future. We're going to actually do a whole military section on our website, so stay tuned for stuff like that. But currently, we do have our network, our business cards up there. We have got our warehouse that has all of our merch, all of our swag. So if you guys are interested, you want to support the podcast, please go check that out. And with that, guys, thank you again for tuning into this episode of the podcast. If you're out there pounding roads, driving drifts, or pushing throughput, stay safe.
Yeah. I woke up feeling good today. I ain't letting anything mess up my mood, no way. I got that feeling everything is gonna be okay. Cause I'm in the driver's seat and I control my fate. I ain't no victim of my circumstance. It's up to me to figure out how I'ma play my hand. And I'ma handle what I have to, that's the way I am. You can't be running from your problems, this I understand. So I be vibing in the zone, I'm living in the moment. I follow with my heart, make sure I listen to the omens. Today I'm feeling blessed, no I'm no longer feeling hopeless. I'm grateful and I'm focused, and yes I'ma keep it going. I got that feeling in my chest, and I feel it in my bones, and I feel it in my heart. Yes, I feel it in my soul, and I'm feeling so good. Yes, the vibe is going on. I'll make sure that I keep it going strong. Cause I've been feeling good today in a major way. I got a feeling everything is gonna be okay. All the stress and the pain, I let it fade away. Like I'm walking on the clouds with the birds and planes. I'm in a G-O-O-D, M-O-O-D. I'm feeling good, baby. I'm in a G-O-O-D, M-O-O-D. I'm feeling good, baby. Everywhere I walk, I got a little extra pep. I'm enjoying life with every single little step. With a smile up on my face, grateful for every breath. I'm grateful just to be alive, oh yes, I'm feeling blessed. They say your attitude will determine your altitude. Today my spirit's so uplifted like I'm on the moon. And it don't matter if somebody's coming at me rude. It can't affect me cause my heart is filled with gratitude. There ain't a thing they could say, ain't a thing they could do. I keep doing my thing, they can't mess with my mood. I keep my head up, but yes, I stay on the move. Today I got my confidence, I'm feeling so smooth. Got that feeling in my chest, and I feel it in my bones, and I feel it in my heart. Yes, I feel it in my soul, and I'm feeling so good. Yes, the vibe is going on. I'll make sure that I keep it going strong. Cause I've been feeling good today in a major way. I got a feeling everything is gonna be okay. All the stress and the pain, I let it fade away. Like I'm walking on the clouds with the birds and planes. I'm in a G-O-O-D, M-O-O-D. I'm feeling good, baby. I'm in a G-O-O-D, M-O-O-D. I'm feeling good, baby. Cool as the breeze, smooth as could be. Groove in the beat, I'm just doing my thing. I feel the good vibes, enjoy the good times. Spread that love, we all wanna live a good life. Enjoy the sunshine, baby, cause it shines bright. And keep it positive, that's how you get your mind right. See, feeling good, this is exactly what it looks like. There ain't a doubt in my mind, I'm gonna fly high. Cause everything I do it to the best of my ability. I give it everything I got, increase my possibilities. You get what you put out, so I'ma keep the positivity. You give the world my love, this song is a special delivery. I feel it in my chest, and I feel it in my bones, and I feel it in my heart. Yes, I feel it in my soul, and I'm feeling so good. Yes, the vibe is going on. I'll make sure that I keep it going strong. Cause I've been feeling good today in a major way. I got a feeling everything is gonna be okay. All the stress and the pain, I let it fade away. Like I'm walking on the clouds with the birds and planes. I'm in a G-O-O-D, M-O-O-D. I'm feeling good, baby. I'm in a G-O-O-D,